Hello and welcome back to Across the Gulf Coast. Well, we have our final segment for you here this January as we're going to talk about the Pensacola Sports Museum and an event coming up in February to help raise funds for that museum. Joining me now to talk about that is Shirley Cronley. She is the president of the board for the Sports Museum, and Bill Hamilton. He is the athletic director for Pensacola State College and also a member of the board. Thank you both so much for being my guests today.
Certainly.
Thank you, Cam.
Shirley, let's start with you and talk about the Pensacola Sports Museum. Kind of give us the idea and the mission of what the Pensacola Sports Museum Board of Directors is working towards.
Sure. Our goal is to have a museum that focuses and showcases all of the great athletes that we have from this area. We are now exploring where to have the museum. We are also looking to combine the museum with possibly a new location for the Pensacola Museum of Art, the Mess Hall, and the Pensacola Sports Museum. So rather than have a standalone museum, we've got 3 museums in one, which we anticipate will be a great tourist attraction as well as attraction for locals.
Absolutely. Now, how did this idea come about? Where did the original concept come from?
One of our board members was talking about, you know, having a standalone museum is difficult, and a lot of standalone museums throughout the country are having some very financial problems. So all of us, and then we were approached by the Museum of Art that they are looking for a new location. I don't know the numbers, but they have so many pieces of work that they can't even display because they just don't have room. And then the Mess Hall is seeing 300 kids a day. They are outgrowing the facility that they're at. So we've had discussion between the 3 entities, and it looks like if we can find the perfect location, and our location where we want to go is somewhere downtown Pensacola, be in the core area, be a tourist attraction. And so that's what we're going toward.
And how about just the overall idea for the museum? A lot of people know, you know, some of the big names we have, Emmitt Smith, Derrick Brooks, Roy Jones Jr., but the real quality of athletes we've had goes well beyond that. So where did the idea of having this museum originate from?
There was discussion back when Roy Jones was, and it goes that far back, when he was, you know, in the Olympics in his heyday, boxing and so forth. We talked about having a group of us that were with the Sports Association and so forth, talked about what the great number of athletes that we have from this area. And our athletes aren't just good. They are world class, and they're the best of the best. You got Bubba Watson that's won the Masters twice. You had Roy Jones, considered the pound for pound best boxer in the world in his career. You've got Emmitt and Derrick, and the list goes on and on. So we thought, you know what, and we tend to forget just how good they are because they're part of our community. But everybody walking into this community, and you hear on ESPN and different places, when they realize that all these people are from Pensacola, they're like, wow, how great it is.
Yeah, little bitty Pensacola and such all the great athletes we have. So as part of working towards this museum, I know you guys have been doing fundraisers for the past couple of years, and you have another one coming up in February. Tell us a little bit about the City of Champions event.
Okay. We do have our 3rd City of Champions event. It's Thursday, February 5th. It will be at the Pensacola Bay Center. Previously, our last 2 events have been at Sanders Beach, which does a great job. We've just outgrown it. Which is a wonderful problem to have.
Absolutely.
And so for this one, we're doing it at the Bay Center, so it gives us plenty of room to accommodate up to 650 people. And this event, we've lowered our price on our cost of tables because we do have more space. And in addition, we have information where we're inviting teams to come, so at a lesser price, a much lesser price, affordable price, so that maybe we can get more kids there. So that because the speeches that we have, Don Sutton and Buck Showalter will be our 2 speakers. And then Dan Shugart does a great job in putting together a video of baseball in the area. And we've got over 30 players that we have invited that have all been in the major leagues that we hope will come. We haven't gotten confirmation from every one of them yet, but we haven't had any rejections yet either.
And that's a great number that she brings up, Bill. 30 players here from the local area. They've been in the major leagues. And she mentioned Buck Showalter and Don Sutton being the speakers. Tell us a little bit about some of the baseball here in the Panhandle and in Pensacola in general.
Well, for this event, those guys that have made a trip to the major leagues, we've got Hall of Famers, World Series winners, Kevin Soche, All-Stars, Jay Bell, Travis Fryman. Pensacola State, we have 4 former players. Our first ever to make it to the big leagues, J.J. Cannon should be there. Adron Chambers and Billy Sadler and Greg Litton. It's quite a diverse group. It goes back quite a while, quite a ways, and phenomenal. And out of all of them, my favorite story probably comes from Talmadge and Neri, who couldn't wait to face Greg Maddox and said that not only was it a frightening strikeout, it was a quick one.
So how do we hear so much about the football players here? As Shirley mentioned, we have Derek and Emmett from this area. Trent Richardson, obviously in the NFL now, and so many more. But the baseball history here in the background, a lot of people don't realize the amount of talent we have from here. Buck Showalter, obviously from Century, I believe, just named AL Coach of the Year this past year, if I'm not mistaken. So why do you think this area is so rich with that baseball?
Well, Kim, we've talked about that question quite a bit. Scott Brown wrote the book. WSRE did the award-winning documentary on the history of baseball in Pensacola. And there are a lot of reasons, the support that you get from your families, the businesses here in town and the business owners support Little League and T-ball, and there's just a multitude of teams. There's good coaching, volunteers. The volunteers you couldn't launch this without volunteers at that level.
Absolutely.
Bill Bond is a household name. Then you get up to the high schools, you have state champions, and state champions require good coaching. I have a wonderful relationship with all the high school coaches around here. I can tell you they're great guys. And so it just starts from the time they can hold the bat and walk. And then, of course, the weather is cooperative here. You can play or train year-round. And it's, I'm a little partial here, but it's a fun game. It's very demanding mentally. Physically, and you fail a lot. You can't just take the ball and run 4 or 5 yards every time and then break a big one. This thing, you come back to the dugout dragging that bat a lot of times. So I think the allure there for the players,
Absolutely. So Shirley, we're almost out of time, but I want to make sure we tell people how they can get tickets or sponsor, if they'd like to sponsor, bring their teams.
If they'll go to our website, cityofchampionevents.com. They will get all the information that they need. They can inquire. There's a website. They can go to the website and make an inquiry. And then we also, also that night, in addition to the MLB players that we have, we're also going to honor Quint Studer and Doug Baldwin. Quint Studer and Bruce Baldwin, thank you. And those 2 guys, because what they've done for baseball in Pensacola has been astronomical, and it really has created a new energy. And so they'll be part of our program that night as well.
Bringing the game back to the kids in the community. Absolutely. Well, we're out of time, Shirley and Bill. Thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the event this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Across the Gulf Coast. Join us next month as we'll look at more organizations and events in Escambia and Okaloosa counties.
Welcome to Across the Gulf Coast, highlighting organizations, events, and people from around our local community.